I just used the word efficient, and that is indeed a motivating factor in our strategic direction. While our resources will likely decrease in the future, we believe that we will continue to have enough resources to accomplish our mission, but not enough resources to continue to accomplish it in the way that we have in the past. Said another way, we believe that this period of resource constraints that will be with us for the foreseeable future is not a time for hand-wringing and slowly dismantling the recruiting, training, and education structure that we have had in the past, but an opportunity to fundamentally look at a different construct and structure for the future. And if we do that right, it will require fewer resources and be more effective. Building on the resource issue, while I said we will have enough resources to do what we need, we also believe we won't have a single penny to waste. In recognition of this reality, your leadership team has adopted a second strategic direction, which we're calling a culture of cost consciousness. And because culture of cost consciousness tends to be a tongue tire, say it 3 times fast and you'll see, we're just going to call it C3 or something like that. So I'll refer to it as C3 from here on out. More than anything else, C3 is about a mindset. A mindset that says every AETC airman should constantly consider the cost implications of our actions, our inactions, and our decisions. It is about being good stewards of America's resources. It is more than just achieving greater efficiency. It is really a mindset that makes cost considerations a part of everything that we do. Are the lights out in the office when I leave? Are the lights out at the ball field after the game? Can the temperature be set a few degrees higher in the summer and a few degrees lower in the winter? Can I walk the few blocks I have to go instead of driving? Do I really need a dozen government pens and pencils in my desk drawer? Is the government getting best value for the contract for which I'm responsible? Is my mindset, how do I spend everything that I have, or how do I save everything that I can? C3 can work, and it can work on a large scale. But it will take all of us, to include our families who live on our installations, if we're going to get this right. Let me give you a brief example of how this has worked in the real world, so to speak. Southwest Airlines. You might recall the fuel crisis that was with us back in the year 2000. In February of 2000, the CEO, Herb Kelleher, sent a letter about the crisis to all of his employees. Jet fuel was at $1 a gallon, 3 times the previous year's costs. Southwest was going to lose was using 19 million gallons of this fuel every week. Kelleher wrote that the profitability of the company was in jeopardy. He asked each worker to help out by saving $5 a day, which would, he explained, save Southwest $51 million a year. The response from the company workers was immediate. One department offered to do its own janitorial work. A group of mechanics figured out how to heat airplanes more cheaply. Pilots began to taxi on one engine, saving fuel. Workers stopped printing reports, turning off things that were idle, turning off every other light, etc. Within 6 weeks, employees had already saved the company $2 million. The company expected a loss that year, the first time in 28 years. Instead, they ended up surpassing expectations and making money when all around them in the environment were losing money, huge sums. They did it by adopting a culture of cost consciousness. They did it, and so can we. In fact, many of you are already doing it, so to speak. At Keesler Air Force Base, Captain Wendy Williams led the effort to restart a recycling program at the hospital, where they now take disposable surgical items and remanufacture them, which reduces hazardous waste, cuts supply requirements, and in just 3 months has saved over $62,000. At Luke Air Force Base, Mr. Andy Taylor designed a bench that could test components for aircraft, eliminating the need to send them to the manufacturer. This saves Luke about $100,000 a year. I could go on, but the point is, C3 is about all of us. It's about all of us all of the time. It's a great complement to AFSO 21. It's not just a good thing to do, it's the right thing to do for your unit, for our Air Force, and for our country. And every single one of us can make a meaningful contribution.